Bank privatization, a very worrying thought for anybody who is preparing for bank exams because of news like this. Recently, the chief economic advisor told us that banking will be part of the strategic sector, and we must remember that our finance minister has already told us that there are going to be a maximum of 4 public sector companies in strategic sectors going forward. So minimum there will be 1 PSB and maximum there will be 4 PSBs. And non-strategic sectors, as you know, that they are going to have only private organizations going forward. It will take some time, but the PSEs that we have in non-strategic ones, they are going to be privatized going forward after a few years. So with all the public sector banks that we right now have, how can this actually happen? How can somebody who is joining right now survive because of this bank privatization thing? Now, of course, it is natural to be worried, and if you are in one of these big banks, so for example, if you are working in SBI or PNB, or you are in Bank of Baroda, or you are in Canara Bank or any of the other big banks, then there is a little lesser worry because these banks are going to remain, or they are going to be merged and they are going to become stronger. But for smaller ones, it is slightly a little bit problematic. But I want to tell you, do not worry. Just think of how you can tackle this. In this video, I will be giving you 10 secret tips which you can use to actually enhance your career, and even if these kinds of privatization things take place, then also your career is going to remain secure. Now, before we begin this video, a small message. Hundreds of you have already availed GuideLease Express video course using my coupon code. So thank you for that. If you are facing any kind of difficulties, or if you have any feedback that you want to give them, let me know in the comments down below and I will definitely forward it to them. Now you understand that great offers like these things, they do not last for long. So this offer, it is going to end on 10th July. So after 10th July, the price is going to rise. So make sure that if you are interested in GuideLease Express video course, you can avail this offer by 10th July, because after that the price is going to rise. And this is the first time in India that a course is being offered for lifetime validity. So all the mock tests, all the videos, live classes, all the PDFs, each and everything you are going to get for lifetime validity. And all the course contents, they are also going to help you have a mentorship program. So people that are actually selected in banks, they are going to have a conversation with you. They are going to give you lots of tips, and you are also getting access to a secret Telegram group where you can get all your doubts solved. And they are also going to start a new class on the IBPS RRB 2020 examination. All the people who have already subscribed to the GuideLease Express video course, they are going to get this course at no additional cost. And the best thing, if you are selected in this examination, in any kind of examination, then you get 100% refund. So do not waste any time, and if you are interested, by 10th July, make sure that you have subscribed to Express video course by GuideLease. Let's begin our video. Now we have a good idea of bank privatization, but I have seen that a lot of people on the internet are going about and fear mongering and telling you that privatization is going to happen, so the PSBs are no longer safe, etc., etc. That is a very defeatist kind of mentality. I do not want you to think like that. Always think that whenever some kind of a systemic change comes, there is always a way by which we can tackle it. So I want to teach you in this video how you can actually survive. What are the secrets that you need to know by which you can actually survive this privatization wave that is going to hit us? Those who have been following my channel for a long time know that I am in favor of an entrepreneurial mindset. So my belief is that you can work for a bank for say 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, something like that. And after that, you can go ahead outside of the bank and create jobs, because that is what India needs. And in the next century, that is what is going to propel India to the top of the food chain among all of the different nations on earth. Now I know it's not possible for everybody to actually pursue this and become an entrepreneur. So I am going to focus on the skills that you need so that you can survive in the banking industry for as long as you actually want. So let's start from the first secret. Wait, before we go into the first secret, let me give you secret number 0. Now this is a secret that is the most important thing to remember, and if there is only one thing that you take away from this video, let this be it. This is that whenever you are thinking of a career in a bank, think either you are going to remain at the lowest level or you are going to reach the very top. Do not ever think that you are going to just go ahead midway and in the middle management, just stick in the middle management, because that is not a good strategy at all. Either remain at the very low rung of that ladder. So either you have to remain in the clerical cadre so that you do not have so much difficulty, you do not have so many different kinds of work activities and less work pressure is given to you, or you go ahead and reach the very top. Aim for the chairman position. So either one of these things you have to aim at. Never think that I'm just going to take a few promotions and I'm going to settle somewhere. Then your career will not turn out as good as you want it to be. So with that said, let us go to the first secret. The first secret is domain knowledge versus system knowledge. Now, what do I mean by domain knowledge versus system knowledge? The system knowledge is the knowledge of the various systems and procedures of the bank in which you are actually working. So this might be Finacle if you are working in a bank that actually has the core banking solutions, the CBS as Finacle, or it might be the TCS banks if you are working in a bank which actually uses the TCS banks as their CBS. It might be the various other systems that you are day by day operating. So there might be various RBI systems or other kind of bank systems. So that is the system knowledge. And on the other hand, we have the domain knowledge. So the domain knowledge means that you understand what banking is actually about. If you know how banking works, how the different kinds of assets and liability products are actually targeted by the bank to different segments, then it actually enhances your chances of having a very good career, because you know both the things. You know the systems and you also know the domain. So always try and get the holistic picture. The entire ecosystem you must understand so that you can become a very good banker. Secret number 2. The JIB, CIB and the other IIBF examinations. So the JAIIB, it stands for the Junior Associate of the Indian Institute of Banking, while the CAIIB, it stands for the Certified Associate of the Indian Institute of Banking. Now these are examinations that are offered by the Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. Now all the bankers who are joining, the new bankers, they are urged to actually just clear these examinations, because after clearing both of these examinations, you actually get some increments in your salary. So what happens is you might get 1 or 2 increments depending on your skill, etc. So roughly we can say that after you pass both of these examinations, you are going to get around rupees 5,000 per month extra on top of your salary, because you have passed these examinations. Now there is a flurry of people who just run towards these examinations and they try to clear them as fast as possible. But I would suggest that yes, of course you have to clear it, but people just for the sake of clearing, they give this examination and they miss the immense amount of learning that you can have by studying for these examinations. So what I did, I actually had a dream that I am going to clear these examinations, not simply clear them, but actually have a lot of knowledge about it. So what I did, I grabbed the books and I studied from the books and I understood all the nitty-gritty. Now what happens, most people, they are going to just clear this examination so that they can get the amount at the end. But my objective was different. I wanted that I will gain the entire things that this course is trying to give to me. So that is why the JIB and the CIB exams, they are very, very important, because after you have cleared both these examinations, you are going to get a lot of the domain knowledge that I talked to you about in the first point. So what happens, you will be knowing a lot about the asset liability management, the bank risk management, the various kinds of risks that the bank faces, then how the bank actually makes money, how the capital asset pricing model actually works, and you will also get to know about how the industries are reliant on the banks and how they are getting their CC loans, TL loans, the working capital arrangements, all the various things. I actually wanted to learn these things, and that is why I ended up getting a first class in my JIB examination, and the CIB examination I passed with a first class and a distinction. The reason for this is I had a passion towards understanding the nitty-gritty, and that is what you need to have. If you want to excel in this field, if you want to go further, then what you have to do is you have to try and understand the various components, because if you are a banker, you need to know all these things. You need to know how the industry actually works. works, and these examinations given by IIBF, they actually allow you to do just that. And they also have a lot of different examinations. They have courses on central banking, they have different courses on retail banking, they have a lot of different modules that you can actually go and just give those examinations, and you are going to get a lot of preference when the promotion aspects come up at your own job. It actually helps a lot, and that is why I don't want that you just pass these examinations for the money. Think about your career track. What are you learning from them? And that is how you should actually pass these examinations. Now coming to secret number 3. Now what you have to do for this one deals with becoming an expert in SME, the small and medium enterprises. Now what do I mean by SME expert? It's not the subject matter expert that IT people might be knowing. SME expert is the person who actually knows all about the small and medium enterprises, how these industries actually work, what are the challenges being faced by these kinds of people who are actually doing the business. And our economy, it is actually being driven by these small businesses. So if you understand the small businesses very well, then your career can jump to a very higher track. And what you have to remember for SME, you have to remember that there are two important people in the bank. So there is the RMSE, which is the relationship manager for the small enterprises, and the RMME, which is the relationship manager for the medium enterprises. Now these are the important designations that you should aspire to if you want to just become an expert in the SME. And many people I know who have made a tremendous career growth by becoming experts in SME, because the bank really focuses on these products. So try and get into this kind of a career track. Now we come to number 4, foreign postings. Now this is not something that you can get at all kinds of public sector banks, but if your PSB is a bank that actually offers you this opportunity of a foreign posting, you should definitely go towards that, because once you can crack the foreign postings, your career is going to skyrocket. That I can assure you. So what happens, there is a bank-wide examination for the banks that offer this kind of an opportunity, and if you can actually crack the examination, it's very hard, and the interview of course is also quite hard. But if you can crack it, then you are going for that interview, and finally you are posted in any one of the foreign branches of that bank. So try these examinations. In SBI, there is an examination called the JIPO, the JIPO examination, which stands for the Junior India Based Officer. So if you crack this examination, there is a high chance that your career will just take off, because once you serve in that foreign job market and then you come back to India, what happens is there is a cool off period. So you cannot go back to that foreign country just immediately. You have to serve in India for a while, but after that what happens, your connections start increasing, and the bank management also wants to promote these people who have served in the foreign markets. That is why you are going to find that a lot of people who are at the top of the banks, like I'm talking about the DMDs, the people who are actually sitting in the boards, the many CGMs of different circles, all these people have actually been exposed to foreign banking, and that is why they could get into that higher strata of achievement inside the bank. So this is something that you should definitely look at if you are interested in a long career in the bank. Now we come to number 5. Get selected in the bank's treasury department. Now I hope that you understand what a treasury department does. If you do not know, the treasury department is a department within a bank. You can say that it is a kind of a bank inside the bank. So what the treasury department does, the main objective is to just have a match of the assets and the liabilities. So this department, this ensures that the bank has adequate cash to actually meet its operational activities and also for the investment activities. So all the assets and the liabilities, they are actually matched on an ongoing basis by this department. Now I know it can sound a little bit confusing and it's a huge subject, so I can't go deep into it in this video. Just understand that there are two kinds of treasuries in the bank. There is an internal treasury and there is an external treasury. So these are the types of people who manage the bonds, they manage the SLR, the CRR, all the different kinds of operational activities inside the bank, the day-to-day firefighting for the cash management, all the kinds of things on a bank-wide level is done in the bank's treasury. And if you can crack this treasury exam, I know a lot of people who have cracked this, and believe me, they are among the most knowledgeable people that I know. And these people, they sometimes interact with the top CEOs, with the top CFOs. Most of the people who are selected, they are placed in Mumbai, and in Mumbai they are interacting with the top CFOs, with the top CEOs, and they are at the forefront of all the financial activities that are being done by the bank. So they are highly regarded, and these people, they are often promoted high, and that is why this is an exam that you can try and crack. And I know that this is also a very difficult place to crack, but of course, if you are wanting to go higher up in the bank, this is one of the best ways by which you can do so. Now, before we move to the next part of the video, just a small message. If you are enjoying this video, make sure to like it and share it with your friends. And if you are a banker, let me know if you might have some additional points that I might add here. And if you are not yet a banker, then make sure that you put your trust in a company that is actually interested to guide you for the long term. Guidely's Express video course does just that. So if you want a course with a lifetime validity, with a mentorship program, with a secret Telegram group, and all the important mock tests, PDFs forever that you can access for any examination, make sure that you subscribe to Guidely's Express video course, because after 10 July, the price of this course is going to rise. So if you want this discounted offer, make sure that you buy it by 10 July. Let's get back to the video. Okay, that's that. So moving on to secret number 6. So this is cracking the Forex department of your bank. So why do I stress on the Forex department? This is a very vital component of career success in any bank, because the Forex department, if you work in a Forex department, what happens is you are overseeing millions and sometimes billions of dollars. Now you might be knowing this, and I have also discussed this in this channel in one of the videos, that the daily trading volumes in the Forex market, it amounts to about $5.1 trillion. That's trillion with a T. So can you believe that? That is the daily volumes that are being moved in the Forex market. So imagine that you are working in the Forex market. What happens? You get to know a lot of interesting things about the banking industry. You are going to daily talk about the various movements of the currencies, how you can maximize the bank's earnings through that. So what happens? These are the activities that are done by the dealers, and to get selected as a dealer in a bank, you have to clear some internal examinations. Same way that the examination is there for the treasury department, a similar kind of exam is there to work in the Forex department. If you get selected, then you will be moved to the Forex department of the bank. Now remember that there are various other kinds of Forex activities that you can do even if you are not selected in that examination, because there are some branches where you can get deputed and you can work in the Forex management work. So there are various kinds of systems and softwares used. So for example, there is the FX out, that's very important for the remittances work, and there are all other kinds of softwares as well which are used in the Forex department. Now in SBI, one of the important places where this happens is the GMU Kolkata. So people who want to be posted to Kolkata, it's a really great kind of a career opportunity, and you can definitely get a very high post in the bank when you are working in the Forex department for a long time, and of course promotions are going to come towards you. Now we reach secret number 7, networking. That's hardly a secret, isn't it? Networking is something that's extremely important in all industries, and it is no different in the banking industry. You must network as much as possible. So this is very important, that all the people inside your bank should be knowing you. So you must be the go-to guy. So all the people, so from the person who is actually sweeping the floor to the person who is actually making all the decisions, everybody should know your name. So get yourself out there, meet people, just talk with people, see what problems they are facing, and inside a branch or wherever you are, you can just go ahead and ask people what they are struggling with, and they will tell you, because people are always ready to share their problems. You are the person who can go and just solve those problems. So if you are a person who solves these problems, people will hold you in high regard, and you are going to be known as somebody who is quite famous inside the bank. And this is how you can actually increase your exposure. And once you do the exposure, then what happens? Your career doors, they increase. And don't just limit yourself to inside the bank. Just go and meet with other bankers. You can use LinkedIn. You can use a lot of different kinds of platforms by which you can get yourself out there, and you can connect with various kinds of bankers or other people that are relevant to the industry in which you want to move in. This helps a lot, and you will be able to understand the benefits of these kinds of networking things a lot later when you are going to get a lot of exclusive opportunities open to you, just because you know the right people and you were at the right place at the right time. So try and just increase your network, grow your network, and one day that network will give you a lot of dividends. Number 8. This is a very important secret, and it is becoming indispensable. This is very important because once you are indispensable to any organization, they are not going to remove you just like that. And all the kinds of privatization things and all the different kinds of upheavals in that industry are not going to affect you, because you are somebody that the bank just cannot let go. So to become indispensable, what you have to do, you have to understand all the various kinds of systems and procedures very well, and you have to actually get a hold of all the various kinds of things that a banker needs. You will be surprised to know that people working in banks, they do not know even a lot of basic stuffs. So there are various kinds of audits that happen. There's the statutory audit, there's the RFIA or the risk focused internal audit, and a lot of people, they are quite ignorant about all these systems and procedures. But you are somebody that can understand these things, and you can tell them how it is to be done. So you might have a situation where during the CCDP error processing, so this is a kind of a credit error processing that actually happens quarterly, and sometimes it has to be done at a designated timeline in the bank. So in that kind of a thing, the branch manager is somebody who is supposed to know all of these things, but sometimes it might happen that some branch managers might be calling some POs to solve these problems. And I know this because this happened to me, and these are the kinds of things that I want to stress, that there are some systems and procedures. For example, the ICOMS, now it has actually been defunct now. So the bulk NEFT, the various kinds of app troubles, so internet banking registrations, the various issues that can happen inside the bank's apps. So all these kinds of myriad things, if you know all these things, then you are going to become indispensable. It should be a situation where if you are not inside the branch, then the manager should be feeling that there is something that is amiss. So if you are the branch manager, then if you are not in the branch, then your regional manager should be feeling that there is something that is problematic. That is the kind of individual that you must become so that your future is quite secure. Number 9, investment banking. Yes, many of you might have already heard about it. If you have not heard about it, investment bankers are people who are helping with mergers and acquisitions, and they sometimes help with the IPOs and various other kinds of things that are happening at a company level or bank to bank level. So investment banking is an area in which a lot of people want to work, and if you are interested in it, then what you can do something simple. You can take a sabbatical, just take a leave of maybe 1 or 2 years, get your MBA done, and go for the CFA or the FRM degree, and just increase the value of your finance MBA. You have to do the finance MBA, and then you can get a lot of opportunities to work with an investment bank. Now there are various big banks. You might be knowing about the JP Morgan Chase and all those kinds of banks. So these are the big ones, but even in India we have certain players, and there is the SBI Caps, which is the SBI Capital Markets. You can get selected as an investment banker over there as well. There are certain processes that you can follow, but mostly you are going to need an MBA and a CFA or a FRM for this kind of a career track. So you can definitely look to become an investment banker, and then the sky is the limit. But remember that if you become an investment banker, the work hours are going to go through the roof. So 100-hour work weeks, you can say goodbye to it, because it will be always above that, 110 or 120, something like that. So everything good comes at a price. Finally, we come to secret number 10, the final one for this video, and that is you have to move out of retail banking. So think about various other types of banking. There are wealth managers out there who are doing wealth management activity. There's private banking, there's corporate banking, there's wholesale banking, which is dependent on various huge kinds of industries. So you can try and get into these types of areas. You basically have to move out of the branch and into these kinds of activities that yield a lot of value over the long course. So you can actually really just enhance your career a lot if you are working in these kinds of places where they are dealing with a lot of multi-corporates or they are dealing with different banks. So try and always move out of retail banking into a higher kind of echelon, and the various kinds of banking that I just told you, you can go for that. You can even take a look at private equity, and you can also just increase your career prospects by this kind of an arrangement. So that is all about the 10 secrets that can help you to survive in this bank privatization world that we are going to enter. So let me know in the comments below which kind of career track you want to pursue and what is the strategy among all the things that I told you that you are going to follow. And if you are a banker watching this, then let me know if I might have missed something, or you might want to add something to this conversation and increase the number of different strategies that we can opt for. I hope that you learned something from this video and that it was beneficial for you. Just remember that whatever career track you are trying to get into, give your 100%. Always give your 100%. Work hard and never think negative in your career, because whatever you do, whatever track you want to go towards, it will always work out in the end if you have put your heart and your soul and your sweat into that career track. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.